You just received the breath of life somewhere in this region and you crack open your egg, ready to take your first breath of air. But instead of a warm welcome, you're greeted by a cold, dark cave. Welcome to the world. Your life is about to be one long series of challenges, and it all starts right here. First, let's talk about your early days. You're tiny, fragile, and completely defenseless. Your scales are soft, your wings are useless, and your fire breath, that's not happening yet. You're basically a lizard with an identity crisis. And don't even think about leaving the cave. Your mom, if you're lucky enough to have one, will roast you alive if you wander too far. But let's say you survive infancy. You're now a juvenile dragon. Your scales are hardening, your wings are growing, and you've finally figured out how to breathe fire. Sort of. It's more like a pathetic puff of smoke, but it's a start. Now comes the hard part, learning to fly. You climb to the highest point in the cave, spread your wings, and jump. And then you fall. Flying isn't as easy as it looks, and you'll spend the next few weeks crashing into walls, trees, and the occasional unlucky bird. Oh, and let's not forget about hunting. You're a carnivore, which means you need meat. But catching your first meal is easier said than done. Your first attempt at hunting a deer ends with you face-planting into a tree. Your second attempt, the deer outruns you. By the time you finally catch something, you're so exhausted you can barely eat it. But let's say you survive your awkward teenage phase. Congrats! You're now a young adult dragon. You're bigger, stronger, and finally starting to look like the fearsome creature you were meant to be. But with great power comes great responsibility and a whole new set of problems. First, there's the issue of territory. Dragons are solitary creatures, which means you need to find your own cave. But good caves are hard to come by, and the ones that are available are usually occupied by other dragons, or worse, trolls. And let me tell you, nothing ruins your day like a troll throwing rocks at you. Once you've claimed your cave, it's time to start building your hoard. Dragons love treasure, gold, jewels, shiny things. But here's the thing. Treasure doesn't just fall from the sky. You have to go out and find it, which usually means stealing it from humans. And humans don't take kindly to thieves, especially ones that breathe fire. And speaking of humans, let's talk about your reputation. Everyone thinks you're a monster. You're big, scary, and breathe fire. But does that automatically make you evil? No one ever stops to ask if you're just misunderstood. They see you, and the next thing you know, there's a knight in shining armor knocking on your cave door, ready to save the day. But let's say you manage to avoid the knights and the mobs. Now you've got to deal with your hoard. Yes, your hoard. Dragons love treasure, but protecting it is a full-time job. You can't just leave it lying around. Someone's always trying to steal it. And let's be honest, what are you even going to do with all that gold? It's not like you can spend it. And speaking of your hoard, let's talk about your cave. It's dark, damp, and smells like sulfur. Not exactly the lap of luxury. You could live in a castle, but good luck fitting through the doors. And forget about furniture, everything you sit on breaks. Being a dragon is basically a life of discomfort. But at least you can fly. Right? Wrong. Flying is great and all, but it's exhausting. Your wings are massive, and flapping them takes a ton of energy. Plus, there's always the risk of crashing into a mountain or getting hit by a stray arrow. And don't even get me started on the weather. Try flying in a thunderstorm and see how that goes. And then there's the loneliness. Dragons are solitary creatures, which means you spend most of your time alone. You've got your hoard for company, but it's not exactly great conversation. And forget about finding a mate. Dragons are rare, and the dating pool is basically non-existent. It's a lonely life at the top of the food chain. But let's say you do find another dragon. Now you've got to deal with dragon politics. Who gets the best cave? Who gets the biggest hoard? And don't even think about stealing another dragon's treasure. That's a one-way ticket to a fiery death. And let's not forget about your lifespan. Dragons live for centuries, which sounds great until you realize how boring it gets. After a while, you've seen it all. Kingdoms rise and fall, nights come and go, and treasure loses its shine. It's a long, lonely existence. But at least you've got your fire breath, right? It's cool, but it's also a liability. One wrong sneeze, and you've accidentally burned down a forest. And don't even think about roasting marshmallows. You'll incinerate them in seconds. So, next time you think being a dragon sounds awesome, remember, it's not all fire and treasure. It's more like loneliness, danger, and a constant fear of nights. But at least you're not a sheep. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to suggest your next Why It Sucks topic in the comments. Until then, keep breathing fire.